guys, midweek energy update. Let's get into it. We are, of course, in a supercharged energetic atmosphere right now. We are pending in a Mars-Uranus conjunction that is going to come exact Monday, July 15th next week. So there's probably a sense of building tension, anxiety, anticipation, the sense that something is about to happen that is coming with that, and it probably is. We have a Mars-Uranus conjunction play out every approximately 2 years or so, and it generally marks a phase of some very active, dynamic, sudden change or some unexpected events that really function as a catalyst to some type of sudden change. So we've got that pending. You're probably picking up on it. Now, the other element of things going on this week, we're also in this very dreamy, surreal, a little bit romantic, fantastical, and also kind of detached from reality type of energy this week. We have 2 water trines going on. This is a very artistic, creative, inventive, visionary type of energy, but it is also very ungrounded, very unstable, very insecure. And with the Mars-Uranus element of things, there's just a lot up in the air right now. If you can get out of town, go on a vacation, get around water somehow this week, it'll probably do the soul good. We got a lot to talk about though, you guys. Lots going on out there. Let's get into it. Let's put all of this together as we do and see what our story is telling us as we head towards the weekend and the Mars-Uranus conjunction on Monday. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. If you guys stick with me until the end of this report, I have done a collective tarot reading for us today as well. I like to tap the energy field from more than one modality whenever I'm doing these energy assessments, just to get an alternative energetic perspective on what's going on out there. So there could be some messages in there for you. That's going to be at the end. Let's start at the top with the astrology. I do generally think that we have some quite pleasant energy unfolding this week. Very kind of dreamy, artistic, creative, even perhaps divinely inspired, visionary type of vibes going on. Very good week, as I mentioned, to kind of step out, go on a trip, hit the road, go plan a vacation. Get near the water though. The influence of water is going to be very healing and nourishing, I feel to the soul and the energy body generally this week. Although I will say this is also a very, very ungrounded energy. If you're having a hard time sleeping, if you feel you can't settle down, you're just wired, or you can't relax, your mind is racing, you just feel a greater sense of anxiety or anticipation or just tension building generally, something's coming. Okay, that is definitely probably your spidey senses picking up and attuning themselves to this pending Mars-Uranus conjunction, which really is supercharging and electrifying the energy field, as it does every 2 years when these planets come together. They do indicate pending change. When we've got a Mars-Uranus conjunction, it is the time when anything that's been stuck in a rut, anything that's been, especially in the sign of Taurus, blocking progress and blocking growth or blocking potential or blocking value or blocking worth somehow, it's got to go. And if we are unconscious of what needs to change, or if we are in a situation where for whatever reason we feel unable to change, this will be some divine intervention that comes through over this next several days and puts things right, whether or not it appears that way at the time. We have to remember, with Uranian energy, this is blessings in disguise energy. It brings silver linings. A lot of times you can't see the point, the purpose, and the benefit in the events that happen under Uranian energy until we get down the road and we see how things have played out. The dust has settled and cleared and all of that, and we can actually see oh, if that one specific thing right there that I thought was the worst thing in the whole entire world hadn't happened, then all the blessings that came into alignment in some type of miraculous way following that wouldn't have happened either. Uranus sets us up to be put back on the path where we're supposed to be, and usually eventually it does lead to some type of positive, beneficial experience in the long run. So that's where we're at collectively right now. And with Mars there, that represents the physical body. You could really be, and Uranus is a lightning planet, okay? So when I say there's electricity in the air, you really could be picking that up within your physical body. And then with all of this water energy too, kind of amplifying it, it's very ungrounded, but there is potential potential here that the water trines we have going on this week may help us to relax. That does give kind of like lower physical energy. It is this more like dreamy, surreal, fantasy type of situation that we're dealing with, and that we are just kind of like more aligned with in terms of, I mean, it's water energy. It's like sort of like how we're feeling, and we've got Venus and we've got the sun in Cancer, like what we want. If you can get around water this week, it's probably going to be like nourishing for the soul. You know what I mean? There could be some healing that comes through on some deep levels in the presence of water. Also, washing things, cleaning things, and by that I mean, you know, like physical things in our tangible reality around us, but also maybe letting some things go that we've been harboring within us, you know, letting our soul be cleansed along those same lines as well. Very supported, very artistic energy, very creative energy, very divinely inspired energy that we have going on here with these two water trines, which I'll talk more specifically about in a minute. I'm just sort of like leading into this and thinking of all we have coming together. But yeah, take a vacation, get some extra rest, just like put yourself in timeout for a little bit. There with the Cancer energy, this is, and the Saturn energy that we're talking about, and the Neptune energy and the retrograde, this is sort of a week to be kind of maybe in your little crab shell, tap into maybe the creative flow that's coming through, tap into our intuition, disengage from reality a little bit. This is whenever there's a very strong Neptune Piscean influence, it always makes reality like a little bit blurry. We can just sort of feel out of it. And since we're already there, you know, consciously making the decision to put yourself in a place where that is the appropriate place to be is going to be supported in this energy. So if you can get around water, if you can take a break, if you can take a nap, if you can be on vacation, that is probably going to just feel really good, and really, as I've, you know, mentioned, very quite like nourishing to the emotional body on a lot of levels. Now, as we do move through let's talk more specifically about these aspects. We have a Sun-Saturn trine that is playing out. Saturn is retrograde though in the sign of Pisces. We also have this Venus-Neptune retrograde trine playing out. Same signs, Cancer in the sign of Pisces. This is at the very tail end of the sign though. Now, normally, Sun-Saturn trine would be a very grounding, stabilizing influence. We would be talking about making plans, laying foundations, long-term, this, that, and the other, things that can endure, things that are very like steady and that are reliable and that are just like likely to serve the test of time. You know what I mean? That is what the trine between the Sun and Saturn brings. It also gives us a ability to be very productive and to like get a lot done, to accomplish a lot. Our work has tendency of like going easier. We can stay focused easier and stuff when we've got the Sun-Saturn trine. However, we're dealing with a Saturn retrograde, which is already going to kind of like invert this energy and make it a little more difficult to stay focused and stuff like that in the sign of Pisces, which is an energy that breaks things down. Okay, so whereas normally the Sun in trine to Saturn would be this grounding, stabilizing force that would like be very conducive to building, right now it's either conducive to like repairing, like finding the weakness in things and making alterations to it somehow to make it better, stronger, more long lasting going forward. Or it's actually an energy, I feel like, that is more supportive of like the deconstruction of things, like breaking things down, taking things apart. And well, like I said, either finding with Mars and Uranus there, either like finding what's broken and implementing some type of like genius solution to make them better than they were before and last longer than they would have, or coming to a point where we're finally ready to release and let something go so that we can, with Mars and Uranus, actually like take off in some radical new direction, like in a very quick and maybe unexpected way in this next couple of weeks here, which is also indicated by that energy. So I do feel like we are in this period that is more conducive to the breakdown of things, to deconstruction, and to destabilizing things than we would definitely generally typically expect when we've got the Sun and Saturn in a trine. And then we've also got the Venus Neptune trine. This is a very romantic, fantastical, idealistic, compassionate sort of like the heights of beauty, divine inspiration type of energy. This is an incredibly artistic aspect. If you do have like artistic inclinations, especially the music thing, there's music harmonization type of symbolism coming through twice. I already said the Sabian symbols of the sun and the earth on Wednesday as we hit our midpoint this week. Venetian gondoliers and serenade, Venus trining Neptune and water signs. Like, we're even talking about the gondoliers and the boat and everything. And then the hidden choir singing. This is the, the celestial harmony that's being indicated right now as well. And remember, we also have Jupiter conjunct Aldebaran, 10 degrees of the sign of Gemini, which happens to be in an exact sextile to the north node of the moon right now. The divine intervention that is underway, the divine protection, and the generally blessed energy. Okay, the justice for the righteous, also this energy indicates it's some Archangel Michael degree being expanded by the benefic Jupiterian presence there. It only happens once every 12 years, and it's notoriously like a very fortunate, blessed time of year. This happens to be lining up almost exactly with the Mars-Uranus conjunction that we've got going on, with the Saturn and Neptune retrograde situations in Pisces that we've got going on right now. And right now it happens to be the one time, like, I find this to be very synchronistic and divinely aligned as well in terms of our beautiful orchestration of the cosmic blueprint as it unfolds. The alignment this year, while we are in the shift of ages and, the spiritual battle so hot and heavy right now, is in an exact sextile to the north node of the moon, which is the destiny point. So the Jupiter Aldebaran alignment, 10 degrees of Gemini, the north node, 10 degrees of Aries sextile. So this is, again, like divinely orchestrated divine intervention that is here to slay and save the day, whether or not we are perceiving it on the 3D level right now. Another thing with the trines that we have going on between the Piscean energy and the Sun and Venus in the sign of Cancer, especially with the Saturn retrograde, there are massive amounts of projections, like almost like hologram type of level of stuff being like going on right now. As I said, this is very surreal energy. The line between fantasy and reality, very, 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 very thin right now. And with the trine energy, trines facilitate things. So the ability for projections to stand and to appear as the reality right now is very powerful. So a lot, and I really do believe this to be true, a lot of what we are seeing, what we are perceiving on the screen of the 3D reality matrix being reflected back to us right now, I don't necessarily believe that that's a genuine reflection of the true energy that is present on the planet right now and the direction that things are going to be going forward. In fact, I feel like what we're witnessing right now is less of a reality and more of sort of like an overlay of a narrative or like a collective story that we are believing is true, and the belief in that is what maintains that smoke screen, if you know what I'm saying. And as we move more and more through this period of time and these illusions begin to break down and the forms and foundations and systems and structures associated with that old world and that old energy begin to break down, as well as we've been talking about in these past couple of videos, the reality of what's behind the curtain is going to begin to emerge. And as our perspectives shift, those smoke screens or projections or holograms or overlays that have almost been keeping us like in a spell or trance or state of illusion or hypnosis, that things were a certain way when maybe they actually weren't. These are the illusions that are going to be destroyed as we go through this awakening right now, that is going to have us re-identifying the truths of our realities in some perhaps radically different ways than maybe what we thought was going on for a long period of time. And that's what I'm saying, like, things are not necessarily right now as they appear, even though the reality may be reflecting back to you a situation or a scenario that seems quite cemented, that seems quite real. there's a good chance come 6 months from now, when you're looking back at this in retrospect, you will be like, oh, at that point in time, I thought that was like a major threat, or I thought that was like a real scenario, but like come to find out some element of it or something was not, it didn't last, like it didn't have staying power, like it wasn't truly effective, it wasn't followed through on, it wasn't implemented, it didn't stand for some reason. Like that type of thing is what I'm talking about. So while, you know, things may seem seriously to be heading in a certain direction, or the reality may be presenting us something that seems quite certain, I really don't feel like that is the genuine nature of things. And I think that there are a lot of illusions out there that this energy is promoting, because we've got these trines going on. Like, it is not hard to spin a lovely tale when we have Venus and Neptune retrograde in the signs of Pisces and Cancer. Same with the Saturn Sun trine in the signs of Pisces and Cancer. This is illusions of control, okay? But the truth, the reality is actually Saturn retrograde in Cancer, the breakdown of the illusions of control in the systems of the past, and actually like karmic cycles that have been cementing them in such a way throughout generations and throughout time. We are at a transition point of ages right now. And so that's, I feel like, how a lot of that is playing into that at this particular moment, as we do move towards this Mars-Uranus conjunction, which is likely to be a very defining feature of actually a 7-year period that we're in right now. Uranus has been transiting the sign of Taurus. It transits any sign for 7 years. 2019, I believe, is when Uranus entered the sign of Taurus. We are preparing to wrap up this transit. As Uranus approaches the late degrees of the sign of Taurus, we are really going to start seeing the culminations of the changes that have been working their way to the surface throughout this 7-year period. And because this Mars-Uranus conjunction, now, well, first of all, it's happening at Algol, the fixed star. If you guys watched my new moon report, I went into some details about that. That's like telling its own little mythological story with Mars and Uranus coming together at that specific degree. But we're also heading towards the end of the sign. Uranus is wrapping up his work in the sign of Taurus, so the Mars activation there is likely to be, you know, cause some type of big charge of, in some way, some capacity that like really emphasizes and is very, I feel like this is going to be probably, you know, Uranus is always known as bringing, you know, great change and stuff like that. And I think that from this Mars-Uranus conjunction throughout the rest of Uranus's transit through Taurus, we're going to see Uranus doing his work in that sign. If you have not noticed the effects of Uranus yet this past few years that Uranus has been in Taurus, I really think you're going to start to see it now and moving through the rest of the time of his transit. I'm not saying a date because I actually don't know at this point in time exactly when Uranus is leaving, but we've got a few more degrees, and it'll probably be, what year is this? We're going into 2025, 2019. He'll retrograde. It'll probably be like 2026 or something like that when he finally leaves. Maybe maybe a little bit before that. I don't know. I'll look into it. We'll be here to talk about it once we get down that road, but let's pull back. Let's come back to where we're at right now. I feel like this is, if I'm going to compare the energy we're in this week to the tarot, the 7 of Cups energy kept coming to my mind. If you're familiar with that vibe, it's like this guy who's kind of like staring up into a dream cloud, and there's just like several different cups filled with different options and possibilities of what to do, what to create, what to believe in, what to choose, okay? There could definitely be some major indecision going on right now, and some confusion as well. Questioning everything is a huge element of the way energy is playing out right now. We also have a Virgo moon on Monday, which is interesting because the moon, you know, in the sign of Virgo, this is very like facts, logic, earth-based energy again that is trying to ground us, but the moon is going to come into an opposition with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So we will have both luminaries aspecting Saturn, the sun by trine, the moon by opposition on Wednesday. And again, like, whereas this normally should be a very grounding energy, it's like a lot of people are going to be faced with information, the moon in Virgo, that contradicts their traditional learned or conditioned beliefs. Saturn retrograde in the sign of Pisces, breaking down, you know, mental barriers, mental conditioning, cognitive dissonance could probably be a real problem. People could be having breaks with reality. We've been talking about how El Gol represents the Medusa in terms of the mythological archetype that it's associated with. The Medusa was beheaded by Perseus, who resonates to the Martian energy that we have coming to that degree. There are themes of losing one's mind, losing one's head, running rampant in the energy field right now. And Aldebaran, Jupiter there, this is also a degree, you know, in the sign of Gemini, bringing truth, bringing justice. This energy is also freeing the mind, happening in the sign of Gemini. I mean, Jupiter transiting Gemini right now in and of itself, that's freeing and expanding our mind, helping us to see a bigger picture, helping us to arrive at like a higher perspective and a greater truth about things. But at that specific degree, I'm telling you, many illusions are in the process of being dispelled. First and foremost, anywhere that we have been surrendering power out of a lack of ability to see some type of bigger picture, or out of a lack of understanding that kept us in some type of mental prison somehow. And it's right in a sextile with the North Node right now, some type of divine intervention. And we've got the Black Moon transiting the sign of Libra as well. Like, there is a level of like justice equating with righteousness that I do feel like is coming through right now. You know, we are in the context of this new moon cycle that to me is really representing a spiritual battle. We even have the Archangel Michael and Algol, the demon star, both emphasized in this same lunar cycle. But liberation is where we're ultimately going. This will free our mind and free our soul on some level to rediscover our personal truth and authentic power in alignment with what, you guys, with our transition to the age of Aquarius, this process of self-actualization that is pulling us forward into actually an evolutionary phase of humanity that's going to be coming in over the course of this next 2,000 years. So be careful jumping to conclusions with things as we move through this energy. Losing one's mind, losing one's head, probably quite a common characteristic playing out there. Be just, you know, aware if you see people kind of run around with like chickens with their head cut off. It's just the nature of the energy right now. Nothing is solidified. Everything's in a state of flux. Everything is sort of like malleable and moldable. I feel like in the energy of this week, we're talking about like gas versus solids. And as I said, you know, holograms and visions and projections versus like the 3D physical reality. And that being said, you know, creative tendencies or inclinations, do that this week. Very otherworldly, creative energy coming through, helping us to see things from different perspectives as well. There is the emphasis on music, okay, with the Venetian gondoliers and the celestial choir singing, or the hidden choir singing, and also on water. Absolutely giving like waterside retreat vacation vibes. Get there if you can. Clean, cleanse, purify, wash things, as I've, you know, stated along those same regards, including, and probably most importantly, any negative feelings or negative emotions associated with the past, beliefs that no longer resonate with us, patterns of behavior that are not making you happier, not making you healthier, not giving your life more purpose or meaning somehow. This is the time to let those go. People that do not support your growth and personal development, the direction that you are moving right now, this is the time to let them go. We've got a South Node in Libra going on, which we're going to talk about in the energy of the next video, because the moon will begin transiting Libra, activating our first formal Black Moon in Libra energy. And we're going to talk about the South Node. This is also going to be a time to shed a lot of the perhaps like unbalanced, unfair, or toxic relationship dynamics that have also been like keeping us attached to these like internal narratives based on other people's opinions, or like some type of cultural conditioning or something that are just truly not in alignment with our soul's true purpose, the divine image of us, the destiny that we came here to fulfill and move towards. And we need to like get all of that out as well, which I think a lot of this water trine energy coming through right now, and also maybe even the Mars Uranus, is going to be assisting us with thoughts and ideas about what's possible for ourselves that are only a result of other people's opinions, or, as I said, you know, societal societal conditioning that just are not relevant and are only an impediment really to the pursuit of our path at this point in time. This is the week to let some or all of that go if you can. We are at this karmic cleansing point, which I talk about all the time. Saturn rules our karma. Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces. We are breaking generational karmic cycles here, and we are being given an opportunity to no longer be defined by the past. We talk about Saturn retrograde in the sign of Pisces. That is what that is doing. Saturn is the past. Saturn is retrograde. Saturn defines things. Saturn retrograde is no longer being defined by the Piscean age from which we are, the Piscean energy from which we are generational captives of, and from which we are making breakthroughs out of in the Mars-Uranus energy, right? Uranus, this is like Aquarian energy. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. We've got like the mythological like heroes right now, represented by the Mars archetype in the spiritual battle. On the battlefield, the spiritual warrior archetype center stage right now. Okay, so this is a time where we are allowed to think and to feel differently. We need to let go of all of the reasons why we couldn't do it in the past. We need to release old states of victimhood that have defined who we've been and what was possible for ourselves, but no longer need to be the cage that we keep ourselves in, okay? We need to allow the possibility of maybe right now to come in, where maybe we've been very stuck and fixed in seeing things a certain way and perceiving our lives in a certain way for a very long period of time. This is fixed earth energy where Mars and Uranus are coming together. That is going to shake things that have held on for a very long time. Very, very stubborn, willful, determined energy. It's going to shake things up, disrupt status quos, disrupt the peace, like all that stuff. So, this is really a time to reaffirm our faith, you guys. Strengthen our faith, believe in the possibilities, shifting out of fear and into faith. And then the universe can validate our faith for us through lived experience and the divinely oriented nature of the way that things happen and transpire around us. And in my personal experience, that really is how it works. First, you make the mindset shift, and then the reality starts falling into place in a way that is inexplainable in any other context other than the divine presence. And once you experience that, it's like there's no going back. You know what I mean? It's like once you've seen the color in The Wizard of Oz, this movie is so relevant right now. There's a lot of themes in the movie The Wizard of Oz which are very applicable to, I feel like, where we're at sort of in our cosmic ticking of clocks right now. But it is sort of like that. It's like once, you know, because the invisible world, it plays such a role of such like tremendous magnitude in our 3D experience, but we can't see it. Just like so many other crucial elements of life that we can't see, like the air that we breathe, right? Or the electricity that's like running through the wires. Like we can't see it, but, or like the signals that make our TV and stuff turn on, you know what I mean? Like we can't see it, but that's actually what is powering everything, like the breath, the life force. Like we don't see it, but that is what is giving us life. So the same goes for the spiritual influences and energy and like that armor of God situation right now. Like we need to trust that things are working out, and we need to convince ourselves of that, even if we feel like our reality is telling us exactly the opposite and exactly the contrary. We need to like cultivate this deeper knowing, believe in ourselves, like trust in the higher power, get to know ourselves better, you know, cultivate a deeper friendship with ourselves even, or our higher selves, and begin working with our higher selves to make choices and decisions that we know are necessary for us, that we know are in our best interest. We need to believe that we are lucky, that we are blessed. We need to believe that we are protected as we move through this energy, that no harm can come to you or your loved ones. Surrender the fears and burdens to the higher power, knowing that this karmic karmic cleansing is underway. There is a divine intervention happening, divine rebalancing of the scales, divine order is in the process of being restored. God does not give you a lesson or an experience that you are not equipped to handle. This is like an ancient truth, right? And as always, with great power comes great responsibility, which I do feel like is a sentiment that has probably never been truer than it is now as we live through this spiritual battle and transition of ages that is currently underway. So remember, you guys, you are powerful, more powerful than you know. Don't remain caught in the illusion of victimhood placed on you to keep you in a state of fear or powerlessness, constantly surrendering your power to the illusion, reinforcing that illusion, reflecting back to you some false state of powerlessness, okay? Those days are over. Trust God, trust universe, great spirit, trust in a higher plan, and take a nap, go on vacation, count your blessings, and believe in your heart. They are only the beginning, because I do believe that's the truth. I affirm that, so be it. Amen. Okay, we have some big things coming soon and we need to get ready. So this week, midweek, you know, I was describing also in my new moon energy how I feel like the themes related to the Four of Swords tarot card is relevant right now as well. Like going in the shell, withdrawing a little bit, taking a break, taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a little bit of a time out, TLC, rest and relaxation, just giving ourselves maybe a bit of what we need. We do have a bit of a journey ahead throughout the rest of the summer, and we're going to be ready for it. So that's what I have to say about our astrology today, you guys. In terms of the tarot message that's coming out, I feel like this is a message really of encouragement, telling us not to lose faith, not to lose hope, not to give up. Things could feel quite disorienting. We could feel caught at a crossroads, not really sure what to do, maybe feeling like also this Piscean energy with Saturn retrograde, it can make us feel overwhelmed. It can make us feel run down. It can put us in like a weakened, more pessimistic state. We have the Two of Wands coming out in reverse, which the Two of Wands is about like plans and preparations, and we sort of, you know, we've got the world at our fingertips, but like, what do I do with all of it? What do I want to do next? What do I want to create with all of the potential that I'm discovering right now? What direction do I want to go in? And with it in reverse, we could feel overwhelmed, we could feel confused, we could feel disoriented, we could feel like we don't have the ambition or the motivation or the will or the energy to do something new, to go in a new direction. But if you're feeling like that, you guys, I feel like this is talking about the need to take some time out. If you don't have the answer, don't push yourself. There's a good chance that, look at, we've got the Knight of Cups coming, we've got the Eight of Wands, we've got the King of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Magician. This is like, we are going to receive something. What are we going to receive? There's a good chance that is some factual, truthful information that clears things up for us somehow and prepares us for the next leg of the journey, prepares us to know what direction to go in, to know what we're going to do next. We're just maybe waiting and anticipating and coming into a place of power as well. Okay, so with the Two of Wands in reverse right here, like if you feel like you don't have the energy, if you feel like you don't have the will, if you feel really unmotivated, take a time out. Don't push yourself. We have very fast-paced energy that is coming in next week. It's gonna put us in a place of power. You're gonna feel like you have the tools that you need to make something happen, to go in that direction. Like we've got the Three of Wands up right here, and our first card coming out was the Two of Wands in reverse. I think that this is just indicating maybe a good week if you're feeling overwhelmed or confused, or like you can't decide, or where you don't know what to do. Just do nothing. Okay, because it's going to come to you. We had the Knight of Cups. That's about receiving something, and an offer maybe, I don't know, but it's coming quickly with the Eight of Wands, and there is definitely an element of empowering clarity that is helping us to choose and decide what we're gonna do in an empowered way moving forward. So again, I just feel like that's also indicating to me not to push it. Just take a step back, take a time out if necessary this week. We're going to get one more card now. God, Spirit, Universe. Let's get a synchronicity card, please. What would be a good final piece of advice for us to keep in mind as we move through this week towards, you know, whatever big changes could be right around the corner now? What should we what should we ponder on? Or there we go. Look at what we have here, you guys. It is the same card that came out for our synchronicity card message yesterday. There's so many cards that we have going on in our synchronicity deck. When the same card comes out 2 days in a row, I rarely, like, it's real hard for me to believe that that's some type of coincidence, especially right now in the context of our Mars-Uranus conjunction that we do have going on, and the Saturn retrograde energy as well. The concept of not fighting it. I think I may have just been talking about that when I was talking about the tarot message also, like not trying to force ourselves to do things if we just don't feel like we have it in us right now. But our message still, same as Monday, moving through the week towards this activation, is don't fight it. Release those subject to bondage, Hebrews 2:15. Whatever type of restriction or bondage you find yourself experiencing, don't fight against it mentally. No, God will open up a new door for you and lead you to peace and freedom. Jupiter at 10 degrees of Gemini, which is also the Aldebaran degree. Aldebaran is the Archangel Michael star, slaying demons. Mars, aka Perseus, with Uranus, the galactic fixer, the great rectifier, and Algol, the demon star. I'm telling you guys, in it, and Jupiter also in an exact sextile to the North Node, the destiny point right now. Divine intervention is like running the show, and we need to, again, like, this is not necessarily time to act. We need to kind of like step back and let things play out according to the divine orchestration that is pulling the strings right now. So that's what I'm going to say for our report today, you guys. Hope you liked it. Message from the stars, message from the cards. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think they would also enjoy this type of astrology content. Leave me comments, you guys. I'm so grateful for your presence here. I really value what you have to say. If you do have experience, or you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. That's very valuable to me. If you want to know what's on this whiteboard over here, I have a Facebook group linked in my description box below where I post links to that. So that's where you'll find that. Come back with me on Friday, you guys. What I didn't mention in the report today is that Venus is going to be entering the sign of Leo later in the day tomorrow on Thursday. So we're going to have a vibe shift coming up to talk about in our energy for Friday. And we also have Black Moon and Libra energy newly activated. We'll be talking about as the moon transits through the sign of Libra. This is also going to activate the South Node, and we are going to be moving through more of this karmic release energy come the weekend. So I'll be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it, you guys. I will see you next time. Have a beautiful midweek. And until then, bye guys.